What's good, y'all? This is your boy Joe Cliff, and we are here. We are here. Let me turn this down for you guys real quick. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. We are here to talk about this new Kendrick album. This is gonna be like my little segment called Yeah, I'm Listening. I'm gonna start doing this, like I said. If you didn't see, I did like a Jack Harlow album review. It was alright. I'm gonna stop doing this every Friday or Saturday whenever I could get the chance, really, because work's starting to pick up again. Being like a little cook, assistant, and all that. It's a lot of work, so work's starting to pick up. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on. I'm trying to stay focused, trying to stay prosperous, stay blessed. I just walked across that stage on Thursday, so I'm feeling real good. I got a graduation vlog that's gonna be dropping tomorrow. So you already know. We're just gonna keep pumping out this content. We're gonna keep doing what we have to do to expand the brand. We're gonna be working hard, and we're gonna keep just pushing, and making sure that this stuff, that my name, my brand, my content, everything that I'm doing gets out there. But let's get to why we're here. Mr. Morale, I don't know how he's gonna say it. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kendrick Lamar's album. Now, it's been about 3, almost 4 years we've been waiting for this album. And honestly, first and foremost, Kendrick, one of the best artists of all time. Like, honestly, for my generation, like, Kendrick's probably, he's top 3 easily. Kendrick, Cole, Drake, you know how that goes. So, like, anytime he drops, it's gonna be, it's gonna stop hip hop. And that's exactly what happened this week. Sunday, he dropped the Hot Pop 5, and literally hip hop stopped. Hip hop stopped, man. Like, Kendrick, he's so artistic, and he taps into these different elements, so it'd be so crazy. And the crazier part for me is the heart wasn't even on the album. So to lead with a single like that, that's not even on your album, that's kind of crazy, but it's fire. So he dropped the Hot Pop 5, and he did like a little tribute to Kobe. He was talking about like who he is. He was pretty much giving like a preview to the album. And if you know Kendrick, you know that like most of his albums are conceptual albums, and this album is no different. Like, I see a lot of people, like, they're kind of they have mixed feelings about the album, and I think it's because people don't understand the route that the album took, or the route that Kendrick was taking. And to put it in the simplest terms, I always, well, not always, but when I first heard the album, I went through it a couple times, just let it play. I didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people be doing other stuff, paying attention to other things. No, sat there, listened to the album, let it play fully through. And the first thing I thought, as far as like concept or something like that, like, just to put it in the simplest of terms, is if you're a hip hop head, then you know this is a classic hip hop album. Styles P, Gangsta, and a Gentleman. So as far as concept, I'm not saying like sonically or anything like that, but Styles P, Gangsta, and a Gentleman was pretty much him talking about who he was, his past, and what made him who he's trying to be, and like the trials and tribulations and obstacles that he's going through right now that's actually in front of him, and that's actually hindering him from actually being a better person. And that's all this album was, like, seriously. Kendrick is pretty much talking about like teetering the line as far as like being a human with morals, and like, you know what I'm saying, and actually trying to better himself, being a great father. He talks about his kids a lot in this album. He revealed that he had another kid. A lot of people, nobody really knew that. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So he's talking about like fatherhood. He's talking about how he's trying to transition, how he's trying to be a better person. But he's also talking about his past, and like the people around him, and his upbringing, and how that affected him, and the things that and it's a daily battle. That's all it is, honestly. Kendrick was talking about how life and how evolving as a human being and being a better person is a daily battle. And it's kind of crazy because people's not really getting that or understanding that. And now that like when I first heard the title, I didn't really get the where he was going with the album. But now the title, it makes perfect sense. If you listen to the album in full, then like you know exactly what I mean. Like he's literally talking about who he was, what he been through, the trials and tribulations, the obstacles, like everything that like that burdened him and makes him feel or made him feel the way he was, and how people looked at him, the things that he's trying to do, the things that he's trying to overcome. And that's kind of fire. That's kind of fire, honestly. Like the whole concept of this album's fire. Like I didn't there's only a couple songs on there that I don't like. I wouldn't like give it a number out of a number, like, oh, I like 14 out of the 18 or anything like that, because I honestly don't know what songs they are, because I continuously just let the album play through. Like with Kendrick albums, you gotta let them play through so you could actually understand where he's coming from, understand what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy. But we're gonna talk about like some of the standouts on the album, or just like some of the songs that fit his theme or fit like the concept that he was trying to do. You have like Father Time, We Cry Together, Rich Spirit, Crown, like things like that, and even the Kodak appearances. We're gonna talk about Kodak, man. Kodak Black is probably one of the most influential artists of this time right now. Like seriously, if you really think about it, as far as like Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, you have people like you have people like Drake, you got people like Cole, Kendrick, like these type of people, like they vibe off of Kodak and they pay attention to what he's doing, and it's so crazy that he put himself in this position. He's like the oracle, honestly. Like seriously, it's so crazy. Like he done been through so much. He done like seen so much to be at such a young age. But like he continues to overcome. He continues to make these strides and make music that's so like people don't get it. Like with Kodak, they gotta like you really gotta get over, I guess, the slang, his dialect and things like that. But once you get through that and you listen and you like really pay attention to his messages and some of the things he's saying and like his lyrical ability, like it's crazy. Kodak is so fire. Like Kodak is so fire. And like he proved that on this album too. Just like the interlude, you know what I'm saying, the little guest appearances he made, and even on the song Silent Hill. So like Kodak, them songs, like in certain songs, it was like so like they played so much into the theme. It was like it's crazy because a lot of people on Twitter is wilding right now. Like a lot of people don't understand the song, like understand the album. A lot of people saying it's mid and stuff like that. But like if you want to be technical, like there's literally something on this album for everybody. Like everybody. Like you want some hip hop shit, there's something on there. You want you want a slap, there's something on there. You want some introspective rap, there's something on there. So like it's crazy, man. Big shout out to Kendrick, man. This album is like completely from 1 through 18. This album is like a complete full like piece of art. And that's another thing I don't understand. I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast. Big shouts out to the Joe Budden podcast, but them guys are crazy, man. Them guys are so crazy, so crazy. Well, it's not even them guys. It's just Ish. Let's talk about Ish. Big shouts out to Ish. So they spoke about the Hot Pot 5 on Wednesday's podcast because it dropped Sunday, so they spoke about it. And Ish's hot take was that the song was trash. Like he's not riding the beat. Like he doesn't understand why people are so hyped over Kendrick, things like that. And then it's like he really felt that way about the album too, because I was listening this morning to the podcast and it was giving like album reviews, and he was like, it's like poetry, it's like rap poetry pretty much. Like I don't know, man. And then like this is why I say certain people shouldn't just talk about art in general, because don't get me wrong, like Ish is highly intelligent, he's an intellectual, he has the gift of conversation. He could talk about anything, you know what I'm saying? He brings a lot to the table when it comes to the podcast. But when it comes to music, it's like he's stuck in the past. Like his whole thing about this album was that like Kendrick wasn't riding the beats enough. and like it's like spoken word poetry and things like that. And then he went and said that like Basquiat had some stuff that his daughter could have done. So as far as like art and the culture of art and things like that, I just like, some people don't understand because some people don't see like music from other people's perspective. Like me, I love music, I make music, I've been in music my whole life pretty much. So it's like when it comes to music, I listen with different ears, like honestly, than a casual listener. So like I'm able to break down these albums like that, and I'm able to come and talk to you guys about certain albums and how like they're broken down, the concepts, sonically where they're going and stuff like that, because I listen differently, and some people just don't do that. And I think some people should just like understand they're gifted in one thing and not gifted in another. But shouts out to Ish, man. But yeah, so he was saying like this album is like, but to me this album is like, I would like, as far as ratings, I would give this album a 9 out of 10 easily. Like the whole, like as far as like concept, as far as sonically, the sequencing, everything about this album is pretty much perfect, like seriously. And then like he got more deep than he typically does. Like Kendrick's an artist that actually, he brings us into his world. He gives his perspective. He talks about his life a lot. But like, there's like some crazy songs on here. Not crazy in a bad way, but like crazy songs on here that like really like, they're emotional. They give you like these feelings that I never had when it comes to music. Like honestly, like I've cried during songs and stuff like that because of memories and stuff. Because a lot of the time stuff happens and it's music that's playing, so you attach music to certain memories and stuff like that. But as far as just like listening to these songs, like the song Father Time, like it just hit home so much hearing it on the first listen, that like it made me feel ways that I never felt about music. The same thing with Aunt Diaries and Mr. Morale, like them type of songs, man. Like it's so crazy. It's so crazy how he taps into these worlds that nobody ever tapped into. Like he was talking about his aunt on a song, and he was talking about how his aunt's gay and how one of his cousins is gay, and how he used to say the F word and stuff like that, and how he changes perspective, and how him changing his perspective and sticking up for his gay cousin actually helped his family, come a little closer and stuff like that. So like this album, he digs so deep as far as like introspection and just tapping into like a whole new world when it comes to like being able to express yourself musically, like seriously. I would say some of my favorite songs on here. I have a like that's the crazy thing. Most of these songs on here are my favorite songs. So like N95, Father Time, Rich Spirit, The Savior, and the interlude, The Savior interlude, We Cry Together, the Rich interlude, Kodak Black snapped on that Rich interlude with just like that simple piano playing, like bro, like I don't know, man. I think Kodak, he's on a legendary run. If you've been paying attention, he's been on a legendary run since the Super Gremlin song. He's been put in these situations. He almost lost his life earlier this year. He was this close to being shot. Like the guy was literally like standing face to face with him, and Kodak could have been shot. So like he's been going through a lot, but he's been actually transcending, and it's so crazy to see him this much on a Kendrick album. That was like, that's why I keep talking about it so much, because I just keep like realizing like this is a Kendrick album. And even on one of the songs, Kendrick was like he's more Kodak Black than, I forgot who he compared it to, but he was like, yo, I'm more Kodak Black than I am this person, meaning like I relate more to Kodak and what he's going through than I do to anybody else. So it's kind of crazy, man. Big shouts out to Kodak. Big shouts out to Kodak. But yeah, like I was saying, some of my favorite songs: The Wrench Interlude, Silent Hill, Aunt Diaries, Mr. Morale, Worldwide Steppers, Die Hard. Pretty much the whole album. Like seriously, this whole album is fire. If you're tuned in, hit that like button. I'm pretty sure there's not too many tuned in right now because it is midnight. It is a quarter past midnight. Like I said, I've been working hard, very, very hard, and it's been stressful, it's been strenuous, but have to get it done. I have to continue to strive. I have to continue to prosper, you know? Just continue to work, 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 work. But, you know, that's what we do it for, honestly. My kids, my family. Like, crossing that stage this week was probably one of the best feelings I had in a long time. And I was so close not to doing it because I have like a, I don't know if it's like a social anxiety type thing or whatever, but like I just don't like being, and it's kind of weird, like me even transitioning into being a YouTuber and creating content and things like that, it made things like a little bit weird because I'm not used to this type of stuff. I'm not used to putting myself in the forefront and being here and just, you know. So like, I don't know. It was difficult crossing that stage. I almost didn't go. I was very emotional the whole day. I was supposed to go live. I didn't go live. So, but I did it and I'm here now, and that's what I'm doing now. Like, I'm just trying to break these social barriers that I'm having, and I'm just trying to, you know, be a better me. But back to this Kendrick album. Like I was saying, as far as like listening to a certain album, I also listen sonically. So like as far as like sonically, this album, it has like a lot of Eminem, it has a lot of Ye, it has a lot of Playboy Cardi, it has a lot of Kodak, and his cousin Baby Keem. His cousin Baby Keem made an appearance on the album too, and he was going hard. He like seriously, and you could hear Kendrick starting to take some of his influence and use it and just elevate it. So big shouts out to Kendrick putting his cousin in that position. Hold on one second, my cat is acting crazy. Alright, we back. But yeah, like I was saying, sonically, he's like yeah, honestly, Kendrick, he takes and he pulls from all types of different influences and he makes his sound. That's what makes Kendrick so special, man. Kendrick is a blessing. I'm gonna go listen to this album a couple more times, and I'm actually gonna I'm gonna do another review, but I'm gonna record it too. I just want to thank everybody for jumping on this live. I thank everybody that was here. I hope everybody watches this. If you watch this, hit that like button. I'm gonna go tap out. I am tired. I got more to speak on about this album now. I'm gonna just digest it some more, and then I'm gonna do another review too. But this your boy Joe Cliff. Holla at me.